Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have more good news to report today about Republican Congressman George Santos. He announced he is not going to seek re-election after all. Santos made the announcement because a scathing House ethics report was released today. It said that the committee found, quote, substantial evidence of potential violations of federal criminal law. So the committee reports that Santos moved campaign cash to his personal accounts on numerous occasions, and he used the money to fund his lifestyle. We knew this, but for his peers to be saying it and putting it in writing is another whole thing. Santos apparently spent outrageous amounts of campaign cash on high-end stores or in high-end stores, and he paid to access videos on OnlyFans, which, as we all know, is basically porn. He paid off his credit card bills. He got Botox injections. They said he took luxury vacations. This is all with donor money. This is all with money that was supposed to be used for his campaign. And the report states, quote, Representative Santos sought to fraudulently exploit every aspect of his House candidacy for his own personal financial profit. He blatantly stole from his campaign. He deceived donors into providing what they thought were contributions to his campaign, but were in fact payments for his personal benefit. He reported fictitious loans to his political committees to induce donors and party committees to make further contributions to his campaign, and then diverted more campaign money to himself as purported repayments, in quotes, of those fictitious loans. He used his connections to high value donors and other political campaigns to obtain additional funds for himself through fraudulent or otherwise questionable business dealings. And he sustained all of this through a constant series of lies to his constituents, donors, and staff about his background and experience. So they're saying, not only did he grift, but he double dipped on some of this stuff. He lied and said that he gave himself loans so that it would look like he had more money in his campaign than he had. And then he lied again and said, oh, you know what? I need to pay myself back for these loans that don't exist. So the committee went on to say that they gave Santos the opportunity to submit a written response to all of these allegations, and he just never did it. And then they also asked him to provide documents. They said you can provide testimony, you can provide a statement under oath. He failed to do any of those things. Now, of course, he's playing the victim. He's trying to deflect. Shortly after this report was made public, he posted online, and he called the committee's report a, quote, disgusting politicized smear. And then he said he's been, quote, stoned by those who have flaws themselves. And then he announced he's not going to be running for re-election. And one of the reasons he gave was that his family, quote, deserves better than to be under the gun from the press all the time. I mean, maybe don't be a criminal. Maybe don't be a perpetual liar. Maybe don't steal from people. Don't grift. Don't, be a shit person. And then maybe nobody will pay any attention to your family. Anyway, the report doesn't make any suggestions for punishment. It doesn't say, we recommend expulsion. What it did recommend, though, is that Santos be referred to the Justice Department. So maybe potential additional charges coming. And according to a source who spoke with the Washington Post, the Ethics Committee Republican chairman plans to file a motion tomorrow to expel Santos from the House. As I'm sure you all know, he escaped an attempt to remove him from Congress earlier this month. A majority of the Republicans and the Democrats voted against his expulsion because they said, he deserves due process under the law. He hasn't been criminally, he's been indicted, but he hasn't been convicted. But some of them said, I want to wait and see what the ethics committee report says. So we'll see what happens after Thanksgiving, after the holiday break. Nothing's going to happen until then. But the Republicans hold a 4-seat majority only in the House. And we've all seen how they value politics and power over all else. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter, though. He's on his way out either way. He has another year and then he's gone. But, unless he's convicted in the interim, then he's going to be gone even sooner. But either way, we're going to be done with him. There's also more Santos news to report that wasn't really picked up on earlier in this week. Another one of his associates pleaded guilty to a crime. So it seems like, the lying indicted congressman just attracts all the best people, like flies to shit. So here's the deal. Sam Meal, I think is how you pronounce it. He was a fundraiser for Santos' campaign in 2021. You guys might remember this. He has now taken a plea deal for federal wire fraud because Meal has admitted that he impersonated an aide to Republican Kevin McCarthy. At the time, McCarthy was the House Minority Leader, and he is very well known for bringing in high-dollar donations. He has a donor base that is really superior to most. So Meal reached out to these donors. He pretended to be McCarthy's aide, and he scored some fat donations for Santos. He even went as far to create a fake email account to communicate with these donors. Well, when everybody was so focused on Santos and he's really under the microscope, of course, they find out about Meal. So he's busted. He got busted back in August. He was charged with 4 counts of wire fraud. And Santos has maintained, I knew nothing about it. I didn't know anything that Meal was up to. I guess we'll find out soon because, Santos also claimed he had nothing to do with his campaign treasurer's crimes. And then she took a plea deal, and then she went to the prosecutor, she spilled the tea, and then within days he was charged with a superseding indictment for 23 crimes. So, like I said, Santos' days of freedom are numbered, given that he already agreed not to run for re-election. That makes the Justice Department's job easier. It makes it cleaner in terms of politics. But do I think that he's going to get kicked out of Congress? No. The days of me believing that Republicans have any sense of morals or ethics of, any sense of right and wrong, doing what's good for the country, I've lost all of that naivete. It has completely been beaten out of me after almost 8 years of Donald Trump. So anyway, I will let you all know when I hear more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. Trying to hit 50,000 by Thanksgiving. You can help me out. It's greatly appreciated. Costs you nothing. Just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Hit follow on TikTok and all other platforms. If you can donate, that's a huge help to keep the show going. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.